Candyman. Like a freight train rolling, bringing truth bombs down the line. Promoting the Southland 1 week at a time. Promoting the Southland 1 week at a time. SCV chat starts now.
Hi, everybody. You can't just halfway do it. You can't halfway do things. You're muted, Moose.
Well, the moment has passed.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Before we get started and before we make fun of a certain guy from Tennessee anymore, views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of ours. Or, excuse me. That's the first time I said these views and opinions weren't ours. Let me try that again. Good evening. The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of the Sons of Confederate Veterans. It's GEC or any other division, brigades, camps, other subsidiaries, strictly those of us who are expressing them. That right there, down there. See the fork down there?
See, this is why you just can't halfway do anything.
Yeah, you just can't halfway do things.
Can you hear me in the back?
Yeah. Hi, Jack. See Jack on there.
Oh, gosh.
Robert, Brian, Frank, Tony, Michael C. Hardy, Jason and Lloyd, Todd Owens. I'm glad to see Todd back in the chat. Todd, I hope you are recovering nicely. Got a message from Todd the other day. Glad that you're doing good. You've been in our prayers, buddy. Paul Gramling Jr. Kyle Thompson, good evening. Al, whose last name I can never pronounce.
And Paul, today is a special day at Beauvoir. You have been announced as our keynote speaker today at the Beauvoir Confederate Memorial Day.
Really could have worded that better there, Moose. With a little bit more excitement. Like I would have said, hey, Paul, did you see the wonderful announcement? Hey, if you're going to be in the area April 27th, come to Confederate Memorial Day at Beauvoir. Our keynote speaker will be Paul Gramley Jr., past Commander-in-Chief of the Sons of Confederate Veterans, who's doing something awesome and cool and new for us. If you've never been, it's a great service. It's there at the tomb of the official unknown soldier of the Confederacy and President Davis's last home. That's how you do that, Moose. You got to work on your pizzazz.
Rawr.
And he crossed them. I'll never forget. Tom Strain said, he crossed them little T-Rex arms over that pop belly. Eee. Good times. Good times. Jackson, some of that rain up here, I needed to wash my car off to get all that dust that I carried up to and back from Tennessee. God knows I collected some on my trips this weekend. On my multiple stops.
Good to see ATM Councilman Charles LeRae in the chat.
Good old.
What?
Nothing. It's a old joke from back in the day. Had to be there to get it.
Oh, well, okay. Pistol Pete is all I'm going to say.
Louis Grizzard wrote a book one time that said if my dad was a Pistol Pete and I'm a son of a gun, or does that make me a son of a gun?
Just going to keep this on for the whole.
Sadly, Christopher Cannon, we cannot make it to Stone Mountain. April is Confederate Heritage Month, all across the South, especially as proclaimed by the SCV in our standing orders. And we have a over 30-year tradition down at Beauvoir that we do down there. So we will be down there. Plus, Moose has some type of
Don't throw me into this.
You have a board meeting that day, dude.
You are correct.
Yeah. No, Sean, it is dust. I know for a fact it is dust.
Oh, dude, allergies are killing me now. I hate spring. I hate pollen. I like it when everything's dead.
And that's why I don't mind the rain because it washes the pollen out. But I will say that spring has definitely starting to spring. Hadn't fully sprung yet. In the up at Shiloh, some of the flowers were budding out when I was over there on my stop yesterday. But the trees on the side of the road were definitely the Bradford pears. They're a blooming.
Kyle, don't tip me. I'll do it.
What Kyle say?
He was asking for a WrestleMania. I'm guessing watch party because there's no way I can afford to go to WrestleMania.
There's no way that we can afford to show WrestleMania.
No, there's not a chance we could show it. Y'all would just have to deal with me on a screen reacting to WrestleMania.
Which is ooh.
No.
Ooh.
Oh gosh. Mr. Ron says they had a very productive GEC meeting this past weekend. It was a great meeting. Glad I could be there and listen to the big wigs and big brains talk about it. I'm Jack. This summer, I am going to work you, child. Jack is my aide de camp. For those who don't know, while that sentence is true, Deg Nabbit, I don't mind it being. I don't want it being put out there.
That is great news, Todd. I'm so glad that you were getting out of the hospital and going home.
Me too.
Really glad. I hope you can at least, day trip it over to P Hill because I may be there. I may not.
Oh, don't worry, Mr. Sean. Moose Mania will be running wild at National Reunion yet again.
Where you get a chance to shoot at moose with a Nerf gun.
I was about to say I got to figure out what my design is going to be for Moose Mania this year, and I think I'm just going to put a picture of you in camo shooting at me.
You need to figure out if that moose costume still fits.
So many things I want to say, but we're live.
For a poor broke college student, you sure do go to McDonald's a lot.
All right, that's the end of the episode. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to share this episode out. Wait, our executive director is chipped in.
Hey, yeah, I know. We have some very all right. So we're talking about what happened with us this past weekend, and we'll get to the we'll get to the costumes. To the costumes and that a little bit later on. Yes, Miss Linda, you get to shoot at moose with a Nerf gun. It's exactly like Sean Hill said, $10 per shot, and the money goes to the museum.
Why does everybody seem so excited about this?
We're dealing with a bunch of rednecks and toy guns.
Yeah, that's fair. Me and Commander Paul are going to try to match suits one day randomly at National Reunion. I don't know what day yet.
And you gave me crap about us wearing matching ties on Hawaiian Tie Day last year.
It wasn't about the suits. I will have my unique tie. You wanted no. This is different. You wanted me to change my custom tie. I make a custom tie for my division and National Reunion every year. 2 custom ties
So anyway,
and he wanted me to spend $50, not 50, but he wanted me to waste $50 and not wear that tie. So yes, no, I did not. He's actually left the studio. Yes, if you want to help our National Confederate Museum and you want to get back at me for mispronouncing your camp, your name, or I guess just being a horrible host of one of the shows on here, yes, make sure you come to National Reunion and pay for the moose hunt. No, I did not ban you. I thought you left the studio. If you come to National Reunion, you get to do a unique SCV chat fundraiser that will only happen once, and it will only happen at this year's National Reunion. So I lost a bet, and that's how we got here. So yeah, pack up your Nerf guns. Dude, you totally banned me. It won't let me log in. I didn't do it. Maybe Thomas did. I haven't seen Thomas Franklin in a while. I'm guessing Thomas banned you. It wasn't me. Let's see here. Well, I can't spend money on the moose shoot because I would be shooting myself, man. That would be awful. Yes, happy Confederate Flag Day. Carl says, I'm pretty sure my dad and him have matching haircuts this year, but it's not by design. I'm just going to delete that comment. There we go. We deleted comment. Hello there.
mm-hmm.
Oh, this is going to be one of the episodes.
Then you lie about banning me.
I didn't. If I banned you, you
And
wouldn't.
you deleted my comment about
I did do that.
punishment for banning me.
In my defense, we have finally gotten people free from where did the Moose nickname come from. It has actually become more well known than my name. I have multiple people in my own division that don't know my name. They just know me as Moose. So I think we've already exceeded the time limit on how to explain that to everybody.
$150 and I'll explain it.
To the museum, not to him.
No.
To the museum. Well, then I'll ban you again.
You're a poor, broke college student.
Has nothing to do with my power as one of the admins on this account.
We share an account.
Exactly. So that's how you know I didn't ban you, because if I banned you, chat would have ended.
I think you figured something out.
What?
I think you're smarter than what we give you credit for.
No, I'm an idiot.
All right, let's make sure we clip that for the gag reel. That's all I want. All right.
That's how we open up the gag reel. Just, I'm an idiot.
So anyway, Friday was a very special day for me. It was the 10th anniversary of my 21st birthday. So if you can do that math, you'll figure something out. And I took the day off from work. Take that, you little turd burglar. That's what you get for choking on water on screen. Yeah, cough it up. Moose is having a terrible coughing attack behind this. Like he's tapping out. He's flipping some fingers. Like he would get us demonetized and banned off the air if he was on right now. Santa Claus looks like he's about to go and jump on him. Looks like he's having a heart attack. Somebody may want to call 911. Moose may be dying. Nope, wait, still coughing. Still coughing. There we go. And he's coming back. Anyway, so 10th anniversary of my 21st birthday, took off of work and decided to go up to Elm Springs for the weekend because of the GEC meeting and because of some other wonderful things. Birthday weekend trip, yada, yada, yada. And when Moose gets done hacking and coughing up a lung and trying to get all that out of his Ron Kennedy, that's a lie. You could see those bald heads on a bright day when that sun's reflecting off. I swear, if we could get Carl and Forrest and Tom Strain all together in a row, we could probably take out a satellite. Anyway, so Moose is done dying on us now, but he's still got his microphone muted. I'm telling him this because he will forget to unmute himself, and we'll see. And it'll be funny. Anyway, so if you go back on the page and look, I did my first stop at General Stephen D. Lee's grave, and I walked around Friendship Cemetery. I thought I'd seen some new damage to one of the monuments, and I called the local camp commander from up there, and as it turns out, I was wrong. The damage had been done some time ago. What I remember seeing there is something that they replace. If you're looking at the monument standing like this, and it's supposed to have a rifle underneath it. And I thought the rifle, the concrete rifle is missing. It was, but it's not like something that's happened recently. It's something that happened like 20 or 30 years ago. And they replace it with a reenacting rifle every, time they have service there. So I was like, oh, makes sense. So there was that. That's what I was talking about when I said I thought I saw something weird. Anyway, went up to headquarters. I made it up there around 9:00. Brought Carl some ribs so I wouldn't have to bring him Spam, and really freaked him out because I told him I brought him some ribs, and I checked into the hotel and drove around to the gazebo, and I gave him the to-go box, and he was like, "Oh, little buddy, you really brought me ribs?" I was like, "Yeah." So, Moose and Forrest got in around
3 a.m.
What time?
3 a.m.
And then we had the GEC meeting the following morning, kicking off at 8:30.
It was a lovely day.
It really was. We found Forrest and I. We go on the different, about 3 or 4 different relic sites, and we play what I would buy if I won the lottery. And occasionally in which case we send each other really expensive original relics that both of us want, but neither of us can afford. And occasionally we'll find something cool, either UCV related or Mississippi specific related on some of those sites. And we found I think it was 1937 UCV medal and ribbon, but it was a very different UCV medal and ribbon. So everybody's expecting the medal and ribbon. No, this one is about 2 feet long, and it's what we believe is a debutante ribbon, either a debutante or a matron of honor or maid of honor or something like that. If you go back and look at the original SCV Constitution, as well as the UCV documents, the commander-in-chief was allowed to appoint so many, women for the reunion as matrons, maids, that sort of thing. But the reason why we think it's a debutante ribbon, I think Moose is trying to put a picture up of it. Go ahead and throw it up there, Moosey. Okay, keep working on trying to put it up there, Moosey. Is that a thumbs up? Is that a thumbs up? You're working on it? All right, bark once if Timmy's in the well. Okay, Timmy's not in the well. That doesn't count. Anyway, it clearly says on there Mississippi UCV, something or Mississippi Division UCV sponsored. So like I said, there it is, sponsor UCV. So that's it kind of looks like it didn't come with any more history on it besides that. But it's a really cool piece of our UCV history. As you can see, it's about 2 feet long, as you could tell by the commander in chief's size comparison. There I am. Hey, you actually took a good picture of me there, Moose. Thank you.
I tried.
Go back to that picture of me and my twin. Yeah. See, I'm wearing my little Robert E. Lee medal, my miniature. Commander in chief, historian in chief, executive director. I was glad to go and have these on it with Forrest and donate it on behalf of the Mississippi Division because it tells I am a good foot taller than Jason is in my mind. He's wearing lifts and standing uphill in that picture. But yeah, it's a really cool piece of our history that now belongs at our headquarters for our membership to view and respect and love. We then went to Puckett's to eat. The GEC normally has hey man, it could be worse. I mean, in all honesty, behind the scenes, Moose and I, we try to see how we measure and compare to you all the time. And like I've said in every nomination speech I've given for past Commander in Chief Larry McClooney, I used and even talk about myself when around Larry. I used to look up to Larry growing up, and then around age 14th, I hit a growth spurt.
Funny enough, I remember the first time I met Commander McClooney, and I was so far away. Me and Dad were sitting in the back. It's before we really got involved in national or even division level. He was our camp commander, and I don't even think I was camp adjutant yet because it was right before I met you, and the elections were next year. So I hadn't I hadn't really decided if I was going all in. I knew I was fired up, but I didn't know what role I was going to play. And I just remember going to a national reunion, and Daddy does. You see that right there, buddy? That is our newly elected lieutenant commander in chief, and he's right from Mississippi. I said, Dad, that's awesome. I was like, Mississippi's on the national level where it's in the second highest position of the organization. Like, yeah, that's pretty cool, ain't it? I was like, yeah. So, do you want to get a picture with him? Yes, I would love to. That'd be awesome. And again, I was very far away from Commander McClooney. And as I got closer, he kept shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. And to the point where I finally got next to him. Dad took 2 pictures. One full body and one where he cropped from the waist up. Because apparently it looked like I was dwarfing Larry from the picture.
It's not that hard.
It's really not. We love you, Commander.
Yeah, we love little Larry. We love little Jason. Our favorites Annette and Linda, though. Yeah, I can't wait for Linda Boshears and Annette and Kayla to take their shots at Moose.
It's gonna be fun. I feel like Commander Boshears is going to be there. If he doesn't knock us off the air tonight, because we have said a lot of jokes tonight. Luckily, he's a commander-in-chief with a sense of humor.
He's a kind and loving commander-in-chief.
He's a kind and loving. Please,
he's like a teddy bear.
I feel like he's gonna come with an automatic Nerf gun. He's
Oh
gonna
no,
say
don't
it!
worry. I've got the Nerf gun picked out.
Oh, great.
I've actually got the Nerf gun at my house. I saw it. I saw it. Big and a little anus.
Oh, please don't.
So anyway, so the GEC went and ate lunch up at the house up at Elm Springs, and we went to Puckett's to eat. Because that's kind of our place in town. Food was good.
Food was great.
Service was okay.
I'm not gonna comment on it.
I tell you one thing. If you go on a Saturday, don't expect dessert.
Yeah.
But I'll leave it at that. Then we went back to Elm Springs and worked on a project we're going to talk about in just a little bit.
Really?
Maybe.
You should read my private chat then.
I did.
Okay. I'm leaving it up to you which one we talk about.
Which one? The one we just started or the other one?
They kind of go hand in hand. But like, I mean, you can talk about.
Let me rephrase it. The one that we actually started working on, or the one I'm pulling a blank on.
Okay, so I'll explain it like this. Everybody's hating us, by the way, because no one has an idea what we're talking about.
Right. You own a section.
You will. So like, there's one project that we just started this weekend that we've been talking about for a while. The other is not really more of a project, but something we're going to be starting that we actually almost started laying the foundation for like a couple months ago.
Dang North Koreans.
All right, 1 second.
They did it again.
I'm just going to type it in the private chat. Did you blame?
No. They don't need to know about that second project.
I feel so bad for our viewers.
We need to talk about the first project.
We can talk about the first project. We don't know, but it sounds like y'all haven't figured it out either.
Okay, we have it figured. I now have it figured it out. I speak Moose, but I don't speak Moose in code. We'll go ahead and talk about it. So about a year ago, Forrest Harrison and I we started a business to try and limit any liability in case anybody says anything or we accidentally use copyright music on this show or something like that. Our own LLC production company, and it's called Stars and Bar Studios LLC, and we've started that, and so that we can continue to grow chat as well as grow chat and limit liability on ourselves as we continue to grow what we want to do. Mm-hmm. So that's a basic explanation of Project 2, but with us growing chat. Is what we started on this weekend. So how many of y'all remember the faces of the SCV videos that past Commander-in-Chief Larry McClooney started? Well, if you don't, here's an example of one.
I've always been proud of my Confederate ancestry, but I never pursued becoming a member of the Sons of Confederate Veterans. It all changed in 2017 when I saw New Orleans take down their Confederate statues. Those monuments come down really lit a fire inside of me and came to the conclusion I needed to join the Sons of Confederate Veterans. It's a domino effect. We give in on this, it's just a matter of time before they start taking down Thomas Jefferson and George Washington. We need to draw the line in the sand right now. These are our Confederate monuments, these are our Southern heroes, and you're not going to take them down. Our museum is going to be funded 100% by the Sons of Confederate Veterans. The history, the narrative that we present will be the narrative that we write. So it will be our story, our museum. Right now, if we do not protect our heritage and present it as it truly was, it's going to be lost forever. We're going to tell the true story here. I'm Adam Southern, and I'm a proud descendant of Private Alfred D. Southern, a Confederate veteran.
So that's just one of the examples of one of the ones that was made when Lieutenant Commander in Chief McClooney made those. Now that was, let's see, Jason's coming up on his second year in his term. Larry did 2 years before that, and he was Lieutenant Commander in Chief at least 5 years ago. So those Faces ads came out, 5-6 years ago, and things have changed. I mean, you look at that video and you see how the museum has changed. You see how, heck, even Elm Springs has changed. As they're walking out of the front door, there's the closet that's no longer there. Case in point, closet that's no longer there. Things have progressed up at headquarters. Things have progressed with our organizations, and things have progressed with us on chat, and we deserve to progress with it. All entities involved. And here's the thing, this new digital age that we keep talking about that we're in, we talk about we need more social media outreach, we need more push like that. Well, we've started doing that, and what we're creating is, what we're building upon is using the chat and using what was already done and merging them, meshing them together, and also creating a history of our organization. Not only getting perspectives from people like Moose and myself, we'll do an interview with it. But we have some other, people in mind that are, younger folks. We have some people that are older folks. We have some people that we want to do a real grandson, and he's agreed to be a part of one of the interviews at National Reunion. So what we're doing is we've got a list of about 10 to 15 questions that we're going to be asking people, that we're going to record professionally and put up. And at the end of it, we'll have a comprehensive look between the beginning narration, the end narration, and the middle interviews of where the Sons of Confederate Veterans is right now. Forrest is historian in chief currently. Moose served as my division historian. My dad was historian in chief under Kelly Barra's administration. I served as division historian years ago. And our history is great to have on paper, especially now that paper is being digitized and preserved in the future. But why not, do like the WPA did? Now, I know FDR was evil. Don't have to say it, Carl. But that was one of the things that he did, was he sent out people to record the history in the WPA during the Depression, and that's where a lot of firsthand accounts of that time came from. So that's kind of what we're doing. There is a research library at the museum. In fact, now a lot of that stuff that is of our history is being digitized, so you can use that at the museum. The picture that we took, Moose showed a second ago, that's, the GEC meeting was in the library portion of it. So yeah. So we did our first interview. Y'all may recognize the first person we interviewed.
Official first sneak peek.
Yeah, official behind the scenes picture of it. This is a project that is going to take some time. Now, a lot of y'all saw our post that I put out last Thursday. It's last Thursday, right, Moose?
Wednesday.
Was it Wednesday?
You did it the day before. Look around.
Oh, okay. That Wednesday about asking for your picture of your Confederate ancestor, along with their name, rank, unit, your SCV camp, and number. A lot of people left out their SCV camps and numbers. I
Please.
realized I did and went back and edited it. So if you did, go put that in there, because what National is doing is they're compiling a database of Confederate soldiers, but we're also doing that as well. All those pictures will be put into the national database, but we will pick the clearest ones that we can, and of course with narration stuff like that, we'll try to use as many pictures. What was that noise?
I don't know. It came off your end.
Sounded like a tire getting deflated. But anyway, we're gonna try to put as many pictures up of the
Oh yeah.
of the Confederate veterans from before, during, and after the war as we can. That way, a part of your history, even though we may not be able to interview you, part of your history and legacy will be on that video.
Yep. It's a big project, but as GCB said, it will take time, but we'll drop bread crumbs every now and then.
Yeah. Right now we're trying to we've got a professional camera, as y'all saw, kind of in the bottom of that picture that we're using, that shoots in 4K. So it will be a professionally looking video. We've got a good working title. We've already started building the title sequence.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to find somebody who can play the Bonnie Blue Flag, and you'll understand why once we announce the working title. Working title is "We Are a Band of Brothers: The Inherited Honor of the Sons of Confederate Veterans." So it'll be a full feature thing, and then also part of the what we're doing is those interview questions that we're asking those who we're interviewing. We're going to pick the best answer out of those questions and clip them and make a Faces ad with it.
A lot of them, actually.
Yeah. So if we have 20 people, 10 to 15 questions each. Some of them will be doubled up. Some of them may even be tripled up questions. Like the first question is, what does the charge mean to you, essentially? That one will probably use every single person's. Well, we're trying to, David, we're not wanting an upbeat one. We're trying to set a tone, because the first portion of it gets to solemn and they're kind of upbeat. We've got a guy who we're thinking about using just a solo violin or fiddle for. You know what the difference between a violin and a fiddle is, Moose?
A violin, like a mini guitar.
No.
That
fiddle. Violin has strings. A fiddle has strings. You're thinking of a flute.
I could have swore you said flute.
No, I said you even said fiddle.
I could have swore you said it.
No, you even said a fiddle is a.
I thought I said flute.
Anyway.
I thought I was just off.
Yeah. So and like Carl said, emotion does sell. And we're trying for it to be emotional, because we want to impact, we want to convey the impact that our ancestors' legacy have on us, whether it's the pride that we feel in the fact that our ancestors went and fought for something that was right in 1776, that was right in 1861, and is still right 160 years later in 2024. or whether it's the feeling of not so much feeling of dread, but or anguish, but just how it feels, when we see a monument being taken down. When we see the fact that we try to live to be the best soldiers that we can be, or be the best citizens that are, what Bedford Forrest said in his surrender address to his men. You're good soldiers, now be good citizens. And we try to be good citizens, and we try to do what's right, and we try to uphold the values that this country once stood for. But yet every time we turn around, there's just something else going on, something else, anyway, just those feelings, just the raw emotions that we feel as descendants of Confederate veterans. Yeah, and I will take some of the credit that the narration, I wrote some of it. Forrest is punching it up. We're going to use him as the narrator and as the question. I'm handling cinematography and Moose is doing video editing and audio editing. So we're learning on the fly. Ernest Hemingway, I won't exactly quote him, but he said the first draft of everything is always rubbish. So we're expecting, we're trying to put out the best product that we can, but don't expect it to be Ken Burns right off the bat. Hopefully it's better than Ken Burns. The information in there will be a lot better than Ken Burns. That's for sure. And we got some hard-hitting questions in there. Some of the stuff that normally when we're interviewed and we give the correct answer about, it's left on the cutting room floor. We want those questions. So,
I mean, I think we'll be better. Give us time.
Yeah, but we're working on it. We want to thank Paul for being the first one that agreed to sit down and do it. We were going to try to grab the commander in chief, but he'd already changed into his civilian clothes.
He looked a lot like this, but without the tuxedo.
Yeah, well, no, it was funny because he was wearing about the same colored beige in the middle of the T-Rex's belly. Now that you hold it up, but yeah, so that's what we're doing. Like I said, it's a recorded history of us, and just something that we can use for the future of our organization, and extra tool in the toolbox.
Extra tool in the toolbox. And it's something we're all proud to be a part of, and we can't wait to get it out to y'all.
Yeah. So like I said, we'll be showing stuff in the future at some point. Let me see if I can pull one thing up.
Okay.
Maybe share this. Got to swap accounts really quickly. Email.
While GCB's doing that, I would like to remind everybody that this Thursday is Commander's Comments. Now, as our Chief of Heritage Operations, Mr. Ron Kennedy, said, even though that Commander-in-Chief Bo Shears will be at the California Division reunion this Thursday, we're still doing the episode. We will have Lieutenant Commander-in-Chief Walter D. Donnie Kennedy on to talk about the plans to complete the Forest Plaza and to pay off the mortgage. So it will be a great episode, an informative episode, and make sure you tune in to know what National is doing.
I'm still working.
Oh, Beetlejuice.
You only said it once.
Well, I don't want him to actually appear, silly. What to talk about? I guess we can talk about, just.
Well, I got some more Oh, hold on.
Oh, wait. Did you get it?
So let me get my screen share up.
All right.
Present. Share screen.
Share it.
This. Share. Is it? Can you see it?
Yeah, oh, yeah, we can see it. I guess you could count that as our official teaser.
Yeah.
So that is a teaser. Well, okay. That's our official teaser. Again, more news to come. We're going to try to sprinkle it in there. We don't want to reveal everything we have up our sleeve. We do want you guys to have a couple surprises when you watch it the first time. And of course, this isn't a project that can be thrown out. There is no half doing this. We're going all the way.
You turd. Caught me off guard with that.
And to be honest, it was completely natural. It did when it first came in my head, I didn't even think about the commander. But after I thought about it, I was like, oh, well, I cannot say this now.
Well, you got at least the first 18 seconds of the video.
Yeah, I mean that is the first 18 seconds. It is a teaser. And we'll release probably pictures more of than video. When we actually have a lot of stuff together or it's just about ready, we might release a longer video. But
we won't.
That. Well, I mean, yeah. But yeah, so it's a special project. And again, there is no halfway doing this. We're having to go all the way, and it will take time, but we hope to have it to you guys as soon as we can. We don't have a select date yet.
No, I do, but I'm not going to announce it because when we blow the deadline, I don't want people like, man,
what's going on here?
Yeah.
I like the teaser. We
and that's not the full. That's not the full. That's like the full first 16 seconds of it. It then goes into another screen where the Bonnie Blue flags are going to go in there, and then the pictures of no, it's not Laurel and Hardy. I am the Don Rickles of the SCV. I haven't figured out who Moose is. Probably Sammy Davis Jr. You look it up after the show. So, and Carl, you're right. Shakespeare does carry down through generations. Shakespeare, the song, the Bonnie Blue Flag, the opening intro was inspired by that one scene out of technically Act 5 or Act 5, Scene 3 of Henry V, or whatever it was that was just on there. Anyway, after that, Moose and Forrest, after the interview that we conducted, had to go back to Mississippi because they have a cow named Roscoe that they had to take care of. And I stayed and went to eat at the Catfish College and had supper and enjoyed it. And then we went and hung out a little bit more. I will say this: some people really need to work on their fire starting skills. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Did I lose you there, Moose?
Oh no, sorry. I have a lot of.
Yeah, we're getting a ton of messages on the page right now. Which again, we don't check them until after the show. Finished that up, went back to the hotel, went to bed, I woke up and began the almost 10-hour journey home. Because I had to stop to take medication and stuff like that, and stopped at Shiloh. Y'all probably saw my live from Shiloh. Sorry if I was sounding a little bit out of it. I was tired, and I always get emotional at Shiloh thinking about what my ancestor went through there, and then the fact that he decided to, roughly a year later, you know what, I'm going to go and whip these. I may be shot in the face, lost use of mind, still can't eat solid food, but I'll whip these Yankees yet. And everything with that, and then the fact of the burial trenches, and again, how I mentioned how during the Depression or the end of the Depression, the UDC still raised money to make sure that as many of those trenches that could be marked were marked, and just the immense pride that in our Southern women to honor our Southern heroes, and then stopped at the Okolona Confederate Cemetery. I almost stopped at Bryce's Crossroads, but wanted to get to Okolona while I still had good light, and it was looking like it was going to cloud up and rain. So didn't want to get caught out in the rain. It did sprinkle while I was at Okolona, and then made it back home. And today I've been working on some rewrite stuff for the Mississippi Division's Constitution.
Ooh, I have been dealing with my responsibilities at another nonprofit.
Your political nonprofit?
No, not that one.
But
Both.
Nonprofit?
Huh?
The Colonel Reb nonprofit?
No, I've retired.
Bogor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
two jobs SCV wise that I will never do is be on one of the boards down there or Constitution chair again.
It can be a lot if you're not careful. It can be.
And I'd like to know how everybody else's Constitution is. It for Mississippi, we did a total rehaul 10 years ago.
I was about to say it was right before I got super involved because
it would have been my division as lieutenant commander. My division reunion as lieutenant commander. So that would have been 6 years ago.
So didn't I meet you after this? Because I was there, but
yeah,
I didn't know what was going on. I didn't really vote.
Yeah, Jack, it was 6 years ago, whatever year that was. It was so we were elected. Jeff and I were elected in Oxford.
Yeah, because I voted for you.
And then the next year was in Biloxi, where we did the Constitution rehaul.
Oh, yes. Okay, I was there. I was there.
Then Brandon.
And that was
where I was elected division commander. You were there for that.
Well, that April of that one is when I officially actually met you. When I voted for you in Oxford, I just liked your campaign slogan.
Young enough to know, old enough to go, young enough to know, or something like that. Young enough to go, old enough to know. That was it.
Yeah, it was something like that. And I remember the debate, but I'm not going to go into that. But I will say I chuckled at something Connor said, and I looked at that. I was like, I'm voting for him.
And then after Brandon was COVID, then Vicksburg and the re-election, then Columbia, and then Beauvoir this past year.
Mm-hmm.
So
this last one was chaotic. But then again, I was helping with the man that was running it. Bless his heart.
Yeah, so was I.
Yeah, y'all are gonna have some real fun this year.
No, we're good. Just the hotel rooms are full, so I gotta get in contact with the hotel and get them to open up some more on the block or find a overflow, which is a good thing. So yeah. So yeah. I forgot what. Oh yeah, so I've been working on that. But anyway, so for the past 6 years, in our total rehaul, there was some stuff that needed to be rehauled a little bit more. So how often do y'all go through? No, Jack, we're not doing traditional metals. We're doing secession cockades. It's something.
Yeah.
It's something different. Than the traditional metal. Trying to go with something unique, and something that can be a souvenir piece. So yeah, at least the rosette would be a unique piece. But yeah, so but that's a Mississippi Division thing. No, actually, Jack, by the time that you price them out, it's about the same.
I was about to say, because I mean, y'all are getting something specific. It's the Mississippi secession cockades, and I mean, not like they grow on trees. It might be harder to find a person to do that than to actually do metals.
Yeah. So, but that's why we're trying to push people to get registered, because once we run out, we run out.
Yeah. Not registered. I think so.
Yeah. So so that's the GEC meeting. Of course, y'all saw the lives that we did. We went live with James Patterson, past Tennessee Division Commander, Chairman of the Museum Fundraising Committee. Go back and check that out. On some of the things, especially the award that the national organization is giving out for the Army Division and Camp that raises, I think divisions are in there, but for sure Army and Camp that are raised the most for the museum this year. So that's good news. As well as your Army commanders and councilmen as they're traveling this reunion season, they should all have a bucket to collect donations for the museums with. I think during the National Museum or National Reunion last year, when they passed the bucket, we collected over $9,000. To put that into perspective, I believe our monthly note on the museum is 12. Is that right?
Yeah. 12 or 13, I think.
Yeah. So that's almost a monthly payment for the museum. So, yeah, it's our museum. We need to do stuff with it. Let's see. Upcoming events wise that Moose or I will be at AOT workshop.
Yep.
We'll try to go live from that.
I'm going to try to make the Alabama Education Conference.
When's that?
If you hadn't asked, I would have been able to tell you. Actually, I can tell you. 1 second. We're just going to.
Pay no attention to the change in backgrounds.
March 16th.
I have something to do in Louisiana that weekend for work. So I will not be able to make that.
Yeah, and that's my goal. I want to try to be there because I think it will be a phenomenal event.
Tomorrow night, Sean says that he has a member of the Florida Division coming on and will be talking about his ancestor that served in the Confederate Army. So good job. Yeah, Sean, I was just talking about just passing the bucket was a little over 9. So that helps. And of course, you can go to scv.org if you're interested in learning more about the Sons of Confederate Veterans. But if you're already a member, you can click on I'll tell you what, I'll just pull it up. Boom. It's this easy. Share screen.
What are you doing?
Here, I'm sharing the screen.
And
just click right here.
On the donate button.
And you can mail donations in if you want to write a check, or you can donate to one of these wonderful mini things like the Museum Fund or the Heritage Defense Fund or the Rebuild the Farm the Forest Rods Again or the Stan Wade Scholarship or Help Restore Elm Springs or the Heritage Promotion Endowment Fund or the Artifact Acquisitions Fund. So we can fill the museum. And also, if you haven't, because I need to, go and register for the National Reunion. Huh, that is actually a cool medal this year. Not saying that last year's wasn't cool.
Where do you see the medal?
That thing right there. Medal.
I don't see a medal.
Medal. Oh, wait. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hold on. Hold on. I'm just looking at the. Oop. It'd be like that sometimes.
It really be.
There we go.
Oh, that is a very unique medal. Wow.
And you can register online.
Hey.
All
Ooh.
the things you want to do.
Ooh. A lot of awesome events.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I'm lying. If I'm doing one, I'm doing that one. After hours includes dinner.
Are you like checking out right now?
No, I'm not going to do that.
I was about to say, if you want to tell me your credit card number off camera, I'd be happy to have it.
Yeah, I bet you would. But get those registrations in. They're making it really easy with the online registration this year. Hey, Frank.
Frank's in the chat. It's a great day now.
I got to sit under the Frank and Sarah Powell Pavilion.
So did I. Yeah, it was awesome.
So that was fun.
I heard that there's some like selective rules out there though.
No shoes, no shirts, no service.
No, I think no shoes, no shirt, you get service. It's very weird. He just said good job. I feel so bad right now.
Editor-in-Chief Frank Powell, I hope you know that tonight's kind of roast night. We're roasting people. We've been picking on Jason all evening. So we're back picking on Jason again.
I just really wanted to get it off Frank because I feel bad doing it to Frank.
Oh, Kenny Ramsey's on there too. I saw a funny video today of a certain spaceman chasing after a T-Rex.
That's a sentence and a half.
It warmed my heart. It made me think of Kenny and Jason.
It does warm your heart, doesn't it?
Yeah. T-Rex didn't waddle though; it ran. So, Jack, you're hoping to go to at least one national reunion in your lifetime on your bucket list. You know, when I had an aide de camp, I had to pay for his travel.
You paid like twice.
Yeah, that was hotel, food, and gas.
One second. I'm answering some important farm questions to my father real quick.
Moose is going to laugh when he reads Kung Fu Master Frank B3 Powell.
Wait, what? Hold up. Oh gosh. I already said I would take Jack to something. There's going to be day trips.
I would. Well, you know. Let's see. How old are you again, Moose?
I'm 25.
I was 26 when we started traveling together. So, Jack, you got a year. Maybe next year he'll take you to Houston.
No, I'm not taking him to a national. No, no. Jack, you are a great aide de camp, and I will take you to a couple of events in the Mississippi Division. Jack doesn't want to spend that long in my truck anyway.
I see it.
Yeah, that's great.
Anyway, so tomorrow night, tune in to
you.
Sean McFall with his look around Florida.
What does that mean?
I have two. But I really can't talk because Harrison knows Little Red, my former vehicle. Yeah, it was
Rough.
it was a little bit it was rough. Angus, the Highlander, is pretty good.
Angus is outstanding, and I will clean out my truck when I take you on a trip, Jack. I travel on the road a lot. I don't clean my truck after every trip. I'm going to go ahead and admit it freely here on the show. So, and I'm single, so I don't have a reason to clean my truck. No one's ever in my truck but me.
Because he tries to feed girls who are allergic to peanuts.
Oh, no, let's not bring that up. Did I bring that up on the chat?
Yes, you did. In fact, Saturday night we talked about that.
I regret that. What was said?
I believe somebody said that poor little old moose. He just I died laughing when he was talking about that girl that he was trying to date, and she brought him peanut butter. He's just talking about his love life. Y'all really need to rein him in sometime before I hit him.
Is that Kayla?
Can I confirm or deny?
I'm a little hurt. I was young and in love, and I was trying to be romantic, and I thought a picnic at one of the most beautiful campuses in the country was a perfect way to show her how I felt. And little did I know that she was allergic to peanuts. It's not my fault that I didn't remember that. She mentioned it a couple times, I will admit, but it's not my fault. Dig napping.
So Moose, he's already mentioned this Thursday. We'll have a replay of one of our more poignant episodes.
No, wait,
on
no,
Wednesday.
Oh yeah, Wednesday. I was about to say, I thought you were saying Thursday. No, we'll still have.
No. Wednesday we'll replay probably the last episode Michael C. Hardy was on, just so that y'all can have something serious.
Yeah, bless y'all's heart.
Jason, Godzilla's playpen is nice compared to the last time I rode in Moose's truck.
Again, I am traveling and a lot, and I did not have time to clean out my truck. You said you were bringing a vehicle, so I didn't think I was going to have to carpool with you.
I did bring a vehicle, but we were going to the same restaurant.
Yes, and
So why waste more gas?
I'm happy to drive you around, Connor. You did do that for me. I can at least do that for you when we're in a city.
And you were really happy to almost get me killed. I could count the freckles on that woman's face as she came towards the car. 18.
She pulled out in front of me.
No. She had the right of way.
No, my passenger seat is like, it's got a lot of fast food and water bottles in it, I'll admit. It used to. Let me rephrase it. Used to.
Now it's got unpaid parking tickets. Anyway, guys, we hope you've enjoyed tonight's episode. we enjoy having fun and laughing here. And I didn't know you had any of those. That was a pure coincidence. No costume picks. We're saving that for a certain Saturday after a certain man is on his way out of a certain office.
That episode is going to be phenomenal.
We're working our video editing software. I put some of the pictures on the software I'm using right now, Canva. And I've already got like a really sad song in the background. So it's not like the Arms of an Angel, but it's like, you know.
Huh? I'm sorry, my phone is blowing up tonight. It's a song of the angels.
And it's in the Arms of an Angel.
Tomato. It's the same thing.
No.
Yeah, it is.
No. Anyway, this has been a SCV Chat Stars and Bar Studios production. We hope you've enjoyed it. Remember to tune in next tomorrow onto the Look Around Florida, as well as the Look Around the Confederation / Commander's Comments. Go out, do something in your community. It's springtime. It's getting close to April. Now is the perfect time to get certified. We haven't mentioned that in a while. So
we'll get soon, though. We'll probably do an episode on it.
Yeah, Dave, it may have been an effort, but it wasn't our best. Wasn't our worst. Anyway.
This is true.
We hope y'all have enjoyed this episode. We're signing off now. Faversham, Rudder Frop, y'all know, don't smoke in the elevator. No Fumar, Harold Philpott.